Welcome back, crew. Yamato is our leader of choice today. We are diving in to this deck. Got a couple of games lined up for you all. You're going to love them. But before we jump into the games and before we jump into a deck list talk, I wanted to quickly mention a video that I've watched recently from Card D Kaisaku. Now, they dive right into the current meta and gameplays from the sim, and they hone in on one of the leaders here is Yamato that they talk about. And I just wanted to quickly bring this all to your attention. If you haven't subscribed to Card D Kaisaku, please do. I will try and link that in our description because it is well worth it. They have all of the data that you need to inform decisions. But also do like this video and what I'm doing here, because we are not doing what the typical Yamatos are doing, and we don't have these same problems that they are having. Let me quickly show you what I'm talking about here. So this is a snippet from the video that they cover the deck list, right? So here's Yamato here. It's got a 47.57% win rate. I mean, it's not too bad. What is interesting though, this is a typical deck list. I will throw that deck list onto the screen now just so you can quickly see it. And what we really want to know here is what the matchups are like for Yamato, right? What is really cool is a lot of the meta contenders are pretty good for our matchup. And this is the other deck, not our deck list, the other deck. So you can see it winning against Kobe, Blackbeard, Marco, Betty, Lucci, Red Green Smoker, and Blue Purple Luffy. The deck seems to be having trouble with Buggy, Purple Luffy, Green Purple Luffy, two of our yellows here. I won't go through them all. That's not what this is about. What I wanted to talk about was I am not experiencing the same difficulty that this data is representing, and it could just be the difference of my list. So what we do have lined up, and I recorded these videos before seeing this video here, I do have 3 games lined up. We'll jump back in here. I've got 3 games lined up. We have one against Red Green Smoker, Red Green Smoker we have a good matchup into, apparently. I also have a game into Bonney, which is meant to be terrible for us, and a game into Buggy, which is also not meant to be great. I am finding that, Buggy isn't the easiest because Buggy can shut down a lot of our things, but he's not the worst. I feel like Bonney is a difficult deck, and it's mostly because of the kid. And why I recorded these videos in particular is I was able to get the Bonney matchup and the Red-Green Smoker matchup, and I thought the Red-Green Smoker matchup would have been equally as difficult because they run that kid. We don't have much removal for the kid. I've covered in a past video, I run Shanks for that reason. It is a way I can remove the kid, but it is still difficult to do it using this. So I wanted to show you how you can approach these matchups. I feel like I understand the Bonney matchup very well and can convert that into a win. Now, let me talk about the deck that we have here in front of us. But before that, if you do want to just jump ahead to the games, please have a look in the description, have all the timestamps that you need to find the game that you're looking for. I won't spend too long on this deck list. We cover a lot of it already, but there's a couple of additions here, namely one addition that I want to talk about. I've added in Neko Mamushi. So Neko Mamushi here, Cat Viper. Now, he's in here for a very good reason. Two good reasons, actually. One, he can attack active characters. This is really good when your opponent tries to hide those really hard to hit characters behind a wall. And there's a couple that do that. Tashigi, green Tashigi, 3-cost Tashigi is the first one that comes to mind. That is one that doesn't want to be rested because it needs to use its rest effect to save something else, like a kid. If you are able to attack it with a Nekomamushi a turn prior to them playing the kid, or, as a setup turn before you kill the kid, Nekomamushi could possibly do this. Well, actually, you can't attack the Tashigi if the kid is already on board, but if they play the Tashigi first, and then you may be able to swing into it with this. So this is a thing that you can hit with it. If they're not playing a kid deck, there are many other decks that run things that you want to just take out of the way, namely blockers. This can do that. Now, there are better things that we can do in terms of dealing with blockers, and that might be resting with things like this, resting with things like this. But the other reason I do like Nekomamushi is he is another trigger that plays onto the field. So having these bodies like this, like this, like this, that play onto the field, very good for a go wide strategy. And I feel like this is another way I've recently won against a blue purple Luffy using this deck. I don't have it in this video, but it was basically, I call it a Betty approach. You're able to establish a Betty approach with this deck by dropping all of these bodies with triggers. It's really, really effective. And no, triggers aren't guaranteed, but this one also comes out. Sorry, there's another one. So we've got, what is it? 13 bodies that trigger out. Pretty good. So, yeah, 13 bodies that can trigger out. That's roughly a third of our deck, which means if you've got 4 life, you are likely to have one of those be a body that triggers out. Pretty good, in my opinion, getting, 4 Don worth of value for free. In terms of how I've achieved getting 3 of these with the current deck list, we've done some things here. Things I may not be proud of, and that is reducing the the quantity of Kazuki Momonosuke. This is a really strong card, and I hate to see it at 1. I don't know that I'm going to keep it this way. In fact, if we didn't have a meta-heavy presence of Bonney, I would remove the Shanks and up this. Without a doubt. The thing I don't like in decks is having a low ratio of cards without counter. I feel like cards with counter is a very important aspect of the game in general. If you have 3/5 of your cards have counter and 2/5 do not, then when you draw your hand, you're likely to only have 3 cards with counter. One of those, 2 of those might be a 1k. That's not a lot. And if you draw poorly, you just might lose the game from that alone. So already we have here 3, here 2, none more there. We've got 2 here, 4 here. Here's a couple more, could be counter, and 1 here. So as a total, here's the total on the screen because I didn't calculate it just then. And I feel as though if you add too many of these, I could possibly reduce this. This one we don't use too much. We don't use this too much either, but they're 2k counters as well. Love this card, love this card, love this. Can't reduce this, can't reduce this. Could reduce this. Once again, 2k counter that triggers out. What is it that we actually reduce? I did take away one Hiyori to get this. I took away a Hiyori. I took away one of these. And I took away, I think I had 3 of these if I'm not mistaken. So reduce that as well to get us to, sorry, one of these, and one Hiyori. This would have been there at 2 already. Gives us 3 of these, and this is the deck that I'm running in today's video. I feel like my build is a little bit different to how the other ones are going. I feel like they are low on counter in general. They run 4 of this Momonosuke, which I don't question at all. I think that's a good play. 4 of this one as well. They're not running the Shanks, so I feel like we have a better matchup into the decks that run the 8-cost Kid because of the Shanks. And I feel like we can also get past blockers easier because we're running these cards which rest blockers to then get into things like the Kid. We've got those options. Let's not delay this any further. Let's jump on into the games and see how this deck runs. All right, this one is a tricky one. We'll take second. This is good. We'll keep this. We have a Shanks. We are worried about the Kid in this match. The Kid is an issue. They've found a Toshiki. Another problem card. Can't do much on this turn. We just end it here. Now we don't want to go too far ahead of ourselves. We will take this one though. Was kind of hoping we wouldn't trigger anything, or there wouldn't be a trigger card, but these things do happen. Now Borsellino is in our way. We will get him out of the way and hope they 2k counter out of this. Perfect. Couldn't have asked for a better 2k counter. One that's usually used to protect Kid. This is down. We're not worried. We've got another Ashura here. And we will have to take this as well. We can just straight out trigger this, so we will. All right. I think if we play this, now this is a risky scenario, but I think we do it. We take this out just to clear their board further. We're going to play this down and swing 6, prompting them for a 2. Love it. And before we end this, we turn this into a blocker. So what do we get rid of? Dragon and Hody. 2 rush. Really, really good. Okay. Not a worry. They're down to 1 now. And attacking into our board. Worried about us ending them very soon. I think what we do is we don't take this. What we could potentially do, I mean, they would be looking to drop a Kid next turn. They would want to do that. We'll take and hope for a trigger. We got one. This is looking like a game situation. We're on 8. This is a perfect card to finish this off here. Going to do it. Going to drop 2 here. This is a 6. This is going to attack as well. I think the plan is to go wide here. If we go wide, we do our first attack here as a 6. They took it. I can't believe they took that. Okay. They'll have to neg this for sure. Yep. But are we worried? This one's still a 6. We can turn it into an 8. I think we still have this. Yeah. They did have the kid. Turn 4, pressure just too much, and letting this trigger out made a huge difference. Playing a lot more trigger cards now with this card in here. Actually put this one in here because I thought it could be one really useful against Kid. Not that I'd be using this to attack Kid itself, but more so to attack the card around Kid. So if they play the Rosinante, can attack the Rosinante. Well, actually, you can't attack the Rosinante because the Kid prevents that. But it never mind what I just said there, because that makes no sense. All right, so that was our Yamato into Red Green Smoker. Let's find another match. Bonney. Gotta love Bonney. All right, let's choose second. We want to disrupt the hand as much as possible. This is good. The rest is not what we need. Hody can be amazing though. We're going to keep. I am very hopeful that we will draw a good card. Hopeful. Ideally, we want Ashura. The way we want to play this game, I mean, one, we want to banish. Oof. Swinging in. Yeah, they are. All right, not helping either. I think we are going to attack low, hoping they don't take it. Even at 5 into 5, I hope they don't take it. This is what Bonney wants. Bonney wants access to this life, yeah, and she takes it. She takes it. I had no other option, really. We're just going to have to establish board. All right. Cavendish. And we will resolve this because anything should be able to trigger now. We get our Doji. Perfect timing. All right. We can Doji this away. We start there. No. Yes. Yeah, we start there. I'm thinking about playing this. This for next turn. Unless we can Hiyori it. Let's look for Hiyori here. Find Hiyori. We'll take that. We're going to hit 6 here. Yeah, we hit 6. Let them rest us, that's fine. And we're going to put a little surprise in our life here. They counted out. Excellent. And Hiyori this down. Use action. Whoop. Computer was struggling a bit there. That's okay. We'll put this one to the top. There we go. All right. Freeze from carrot. 1 on. This is what we want to see. This is exactly what we want to see. No block. Resolve. Use trigger. We got him. We tricked him into this one. We tricked him into this. It's just a shame we don't have banish, really. Just a shame. Draw Don. All right. What shall we discard here? I think we'll get rid of... I mean, I was tempted to search for a banish card here. I think we still do that. Use card. We're going to get rid of one of these then. Now, if they take this, the point of banishing is sort of lost. Okay. Banishing is not on the cards anymore. Now it's time for action. Now it is time for action. I'm still going to do it actually because I can play this out. Better yet, I KO this card. Yes, it hits our life, but I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Take the top. Okay, and we'll KO this. That's clear now. We now have 2 that we can add to one of these cards here. I want to hit 4 over, making sure I destroy as many of their cards as I can. This is 3 cards. They take. Now, we're about to see the kid wall. We'll get rid of a 2K, and they've got a kid wall. I mean, they could potentially try and finish us. What have they got? A 6, a 7, and 2 7s. So we're getting out. We're not worried about that. Our characters are small, but we're a wide board, and any of these can get 2'd on. Very useful. I would imagine they're going to want to swing into this. They've got to play, though, an 8 kid down, use the 1 Don on it, which means they've got no Don left. If they play this out, they've got no Don left to rest anything. Will they go for a kid this turn? I'm not sure. If they've got a Rosie, they can play a kid and Rosie in the one turn. Not a bad move. They play out blockers. They're dead in the water. They're having a very long think about this one. Rightfully so. They have the cards. They probably have a few different paths to take here. Trying to calculate the best one. I can't see it, to be honest. They've added Don. They're not playing out. They are not playing out. Okay. This is interesting. This is telling me Hody is coming down. I'm not going to block this. Hody will take out probably this one. We're going to definitely block this out. And I'll use a... Yeah, I'll do this. This looks good. And we win on the spot. They did indeed have Hody. They had so much Hody. They had no counter whatsoever. They had like, this is a 3, this is a 4. That's all they had going for them. They were not surviving that turn. Not a chance. This was a last-ditch effort, hoping to hit a 7-8 and make it through. Worth a shot. It was worth a shot, and it was slightly higher powered to go that route rather than loading Don onto this. I give them that. But, once again, Yamato prevails. She is a god. Let's find another one. Alright, Yamato into Buggy. Yeah, I like it. I like it enough. We'll keep it. Essentially, Buggy doesn't want to take any of his life. Sorry, doesn't want to ditch any of his cards from hand, so will likely take life. No good turn 1 play. Could Hiyori down. Opt not to. So next turn will be his first turn where he can play a decent sized body, and I'm sure he will be wanting to play a blocker. Next turn, he's found this card here. We're not going to be removing in this game. Take that. Interesting card to find. Interesting card. We're just going to hit 2 over, steal 2 cards from him. Alright, deploy this down. Go in for the banish. See if it sticks. Might stick. I can't afford to lose the cards from hand. Next turn, as I said, if they want to play that Mihawk Crocodile and they ditch 2 cards now to defend this, next turn they draw a card, they play it out and have to ditch 1, so they'll be left with 3. This is why they took that hit just now. Easy money. And if they don't choose to play out a blocker this turn, I think we'll defend that one. Yeah, if they don't put out a blocker this turn, I should have put up a block. Should have turned this into a blocker. That was silly. They are punishing themselves here. Absolutely punishing themselves. Alright, no, they did get a blocker. They did get a blocker. I take that back. Alright. We can't remove anything. This is not going to do anything for us this game. What do? We play this out. I think we play this out. Put this at the top. And we've got 4 left. 2 is not enough. 4 is enough to threaten this. So we just do that. See if they'll want the 2 cards. It's either that or block and use 2 cards, or block and lose a blocker. They take. Very, very good here. Take the top. That would have been... No, that wouldn't have been great. This is great. And I forgot to make a blocker once again. That could be dangerous. Because they actually have enough to swing into us. We don't have a lot of counter. We got 3k in counter. They actually could swing over us here. Don't think that will happen though. Oh no, they'd be just out. They won't be able to swing. Even if they hit 7 and 7, we can block one of them. Just. So we are surviving this, and they are in for a horrible next turn. Starting with the 7, we take, we trigger. Do they buggy? Do they buggy to remove? Are they feeling that desperate? Not yet. Not yet. And dropping the Shui, preventing this attack. Pretty good play. Pretty good play. And following that up with another blocker. Not bad. Not bad at all. All right. What's our move here? What are we doing? We've got 2 blockers to get through, which is essentially 4 hits that we need. So we're not getting through this turn. We can heal. Healing could be a good idea. What can we do aside from that though? We've got 3 there. A heal and a blocker. I guess we're just swinging 3 into this. 3 into Buggy. See if it prompts this to block. Nope, they're blocked and counted out. So we'll get our heal and happen. We'll put Hiyori to the top. And then we're not forgetting this time. We've got 2 blockers, 2 life. We should be good. That's 5 hits that they need into us. 1, 2, 3, 4. I dare say they'd rather play a Buggy this turn and remove this blocker. That is my prediction. Playing Buggy over this, using the remainder 5 to attack in with this here, probably, I don't know, 3 here, 2 here. Sounds like a good play. Leaving the blockers up and putting a Buggy down, setting up for next turn. I think that's what we're likely to see. If they play the Buggy, they lose a card in doing it. They'll be down to 2. Just be aware of that. Okay, so they want to get an extra attack before this, so they'll do a 5, 6, 7. So we will get out of this one. Ashura is no good anymore. Off you go. Seven now. 7 we can defend also. And feel like we should. This one, last attack. Now they went over here, so they're not playing Buggy out. They're keeping their board as is. They might hard play emoji. That way they don't have to discard a card to do it. So I could imagine this being played over here. Okay. Only thing I probably could have done better was taken a hit so I could defend with this one. I thought they were going to remove it though. We're going to take this. It is a 2k. It might set us up a little bit here. And hard playing this 4, drawing some, optimizing their hand now for the next turn or for the defense. Discarding a blocker. Okay. Here's what we can do. We can rest this. Attack into this. Rest this. Attack at face. Use action. Rest this one. We got 8. We play this. We use all our effort on our Yamato here. What do you reckon they've got in hand? Probably 3k, maybe 4k. If we boost our Yamato 1, add 2 Don to her, that's 4. Don't think we're getting through. I don't think we can add the Don onto her. We're going to do this anyway. Actually, I've got this. I can do a third blocker. I can do a third blocker. We do this. I throw 2 on here, forcing action from this. Actually, ideally I should have done 2 more, because we don't really have any other plays right now. And I can do 2 on here and then 2 there, but it's okay. May have been able to get through if I loaded this up correctly. Three blockers, one life. We need 5 hits through. That's everything. That is everything. We'll see what they give us here. Very, very hard spot, really. Unless they've got a Grav Blade in hand. Grav Blade makes this play easy. If they don't have a Grav Blade, they still need a hit with this, or use removal, like use a Buggy removal, which is playing a Buggy, ditching a card to do it. But that sets up for counterplay, so still not sure about that. They might want to swing first. Swinging first. I think we just counter out of this. We counter out of this and then they've got no... I don't think they've got any way through now. They can attack with this. We take. And they can't deal with our 2 blockers. They can play a Buggy down. They play a Buggy down, then they only have 1. They can't load this up with Don. They do that. They opt for that. Not bad because it does... What do they play over? Elvita. Okay. All right. And with this one card, we just got game. The one card. Power of Hody, right? We do 2 here. Unless this can get rid of Hody, which I can't think of a card which triggers on blue and does that. This is game. And this is what you call top decking. 9's enough to do it. Going in for 11 anyway. Yamato into Buggy. Very close one. Very, very close one. They played that well. We got lucky here. Give them that. One play that I was looking at, which would have been fun, is playing the Shanks to KO this. If I had have done that, they would have to discard their last card, which wasn't enough. But let's say you do this a different way around and you attack with this Izzo into emoji or something like that. Then they might want to save it. They ditch the last card. You attack, 7 into this. They ditch the last card. Then you use a KO. I find this works really well if you can do it earlier in the game and using Ashura. But didn't get to do it in this game. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed all of them. And until next time, look after yourselves and look after your decks.